How's it going? Okay, so if you're hearing this, you're probably like, what's going on? Why are you talking to me like this? Well, so we went through a rebrand. We originally were, speaking of which, we're now Drunken Book Club. But I wanted to keep old episodes alive, so here are the episodes before the main update to Drunken Book Club. These are, episodes that we did on a bunch of different books before we rebranded to Drunken Book Club. I keep referring to us as Drunken Book Club, but also reference, speaking of which is the old podcast. So, there we are. Also, our new socials for this are at DBC_pod for Twitter, and our Patreon is patreon.com/Drunken Book Club. Definitely recommend checking it out. It's only $1 a month, and you can tell us what books to read. Alright, well, that's it. You guys enjoy the episode. Bye-bye.
Have you ever thought to yourself, hey, these guys should talk about this book on Drunken Book Club? Or even, hey, I want to hear them gush about this on Rupel's Rupees. Well, guess what? We'll listen to you if you pitch in $1 on our Patreon. That's right, for $1, we'll listen to you. And along with that $1, you know what else you get? You get access to all the bonus episodes that I put out every single week, including the backlogs, and early access to all our podcasts and videos, and everything else that I put up on there. So for $1, I think it's pretty much worth it, but you be the judge. Check it out. It's at patreon.com/speaking of which. Thank you and enjoy the show.
Hello and welcome to Drunken Book Club. I'm your ghastly scientist in his lab host, Christopher the Rupel, joined with...
your emo girl, Sam.
And today on Drunken Book Club, this is a monumental Drunken Book Club. This is July. This July, we're celebrating 2 birthdays in this July. 2 very important birthdays. One, my own on the 23rd, and secondly, Goosebumps' 30th birthday as well. Happy birthday Goosebumps. We don't know the actual date when the first books came out. No one really knows. Yeah, that's what I'd say. Might be in a newspaper or something if anyone looks far back enough, but who cares?
Close enough.
Yeah, it's they just say July. That most places are pretty much like, yeah, the first 3 Goosebumps book came out in July, but they don't have an exact date. After that, every other one has like an exact date. So
I just keep seeing a picture of myself that's still there.
Yeah, you're welcome. And on this July, we're not recording this in July quite yet. We're recording this at the tail end of June. And before we start this episode, I'd like to say some words. I'd like to say some very drunken words that are just because I'm drunk doesn't mean that they're not true. But Supreme Court, you guys can go fuck yourselves.
Yeah.
Except for the ones who voted no on a lot of the important things these past few weeks. You know who can go fuck himself? Fucking all of them. Except for those, 3.
Yeah, same.
Sotomayor, you're cool in my book.
Yeah.
You've been cool in my book for a while.
And you still continue to be cool, so you're fine.
You're cool, but fuck the rest of you.
Yeah.
But okay, getting into actual Jekyll. On this episode of Drunken Book Club, let's get into the meat and potatoes of things. We read the Goosebumps 2000 book as decided by our audience on Twitter. Thank you, audience on Twitter. Firstly, they decided on the Goosebumps 2000's book because I asked them, I didn't want to read a regular Goosebumps this time around, because usually we've been reading them in order for the most part. Like, the only time we deviated was to read the Monster Blood books, but that was to kind of be like, let's read all those in October. Which I'm not disappointed with.
Yeah, that made sense.
And I was like, which series should we read? So I asked, should we read 2000? I want to say Horrorland. Slappy World. Slappy's World.
Yeah.
I think it's just Slappy World or
And then Fear Street one?
No, not Fear Street.
Okay.
No. These were just all Goosebumps based ones. I don't remember each one. I literally tweeted this
Most
2
Wanted?
months ago. I think Most Wanted was it. And then after that poll, 2000 overwhelmingly won because people enjoy the 2000 books, and I feel like another reason for that is a lot of the current Goosebump podcasts are on Goosebumps 2000s. So I feel like that's really fresh in a lot of people's minds as well. A lot of people are going back and rereading those or even discovering some of them. Because personally, it's more of a discovery for me because I've never read any of the 2000s.
Yeah.
I own a few. My brother had a few as well. But those ones actually scared me the most, with cover-wise. Mostly Creature Teacher, because holy crap, that teacher beat Creature. And she kind of looked like my brother's teacher that he hated. Like, I wish I was kidding. He did a book report on it for her, and he did not get a good grade. I'm not kidding. And then I asked, hey, with the Goosebumps 2000s being the victor, what are a couple choices? And some people, I think what the choices were the one we read, Jekyll and Heidi, Werewolf in the Living Room, and
Little Comic Book Shop of Horrors.
No, that's a Give Yourself Goosebumps.
Oh, okay.
You're drunk. I'll let it pass this time. But that one did win our Give Yourself Goosebumps, which we'll be reading this month as well. I can't remember. It's been like I took this poll back in May, or maybe even April.
I don't know.
It's been a while. It's definitely been a while.
I don't want to go back on Twitter and try to find it.
No, we're not going to. But this Jekyll and at first, Werewolf in the Living Room was winning, but Mr. Spongy and Miss Nicole were like, "No, we can't force you to read that one because apparently that one's not that good." Which
just a werewolf in the room. Like, hey guys,
I think I got like 3 recommendations, and I chose that one as like the wild card because I was like, "Oh, this one has a funny cover because it's got werewolf feet on it." Like, a gratuitous werewolf feet. And I wanted to make fun of Sam for her werewolf feet fetish.
I don't have werewolf feet fetish.
Okay, werewolf fetish.
It's better.
But this one ended up winning out, which I'm kind of relieved because hearing that Werewolf in the Living Room is kind of... I think a lot of people don't think it's that bad. It's kind of just meh. And we read Jekyll and Heidi, and we'll get into it now, I guess. Or get into everything. So, to start off this episode is kind of being rushed out. At least for reading this book, it's a little rushed. Normally, we read the book throughout the week. Like, I'll read it throughout the week and type up my notes and type out a giant listing of, like, a good synopsis. My synopses tend to take a while because I go chapter by chapter. If you've listened to a previous Drunken Book Club, obviously you would know that. But this time around, we were in a tight spot because, unfortunately, if you haven't been following us on Twitter, I think I said this in the Disney podcast I just released. I said that unfortunately, me and Weiss caught COVID, and I'm fully good. I'm not suffering from COVID anymore. But unfortunately, Weiss still has a bit of a cough. He didn't want to record today, and unfortunately, Brandon and Elena got sick as well because they came back from a trip. No, I'm not throwing shade or anything. That just fucking sucks, and
we're not sure if it's COVID or not, but they're sick.
Yeah, and that just sucks in general.
Yeah.
So get well soon, you guys. Well, by the point this episode comes out, they should hopefully be well soon.
Yes, hopefully.
Since this comes out on July 1st.
Yeah.
But I took the synopsis of this story from the Goosebumps wiki, but I had a little bit of a Rupal tinge. There's a bit of a Rupalness to it, so there's a little bit there. Why are you smiling like that?
Because the cherry looks like it's coming out of the hole. Like the bubbles are coming out of the hole, so it looks like it's farting.
Okay, so let's start off with what we pre-gamed on, since Sam wants to comment on my cherry hole. My black cherry hole.
Okay,
so I started off today, Sam went and got us Freddy's, and I got a Diet Dr. Pepper, and I had a little bit of vanilla vodka to kind of get me started. It didn't really last me too long, because we ended up watching the Beavis and Butthead Do the Universe movie, which... pretty good if you haven't watched it. It was really enjoyable if you like Beavis and Butthead.
Probably also why I'm cracking up at the hole. The bubbles coming out of the hole.
Yeah, and it's not because you're a little drunk.
Could be both.
Yeah. And then to kind of commemorate this episode, because I've been trying to pair these episodes with drinks that would match the the book we read, I had to come up with something fast. So I found this recipe for a mad scientist drink. And what it was is you needed to make a vodka... Skittles-infused vodka and choose whatever color you want. So we had a container of Skittles from Christmas still. That's how bad we are. We don't really eat Skittles.
We're not like huge Skittle fans.
Yeah,
Like we like them, but they're not like...
it's not the first candy we're gonna eat in our candy bag.
Yeah.
We had a candy cane one from my mom that she gave us. And I took all the green ones out and I put them inside a cup and I added 4 shots of whiskey vodka, thank you. And overnight, the candy disintegrated and became a very kind of a powdery mixture inside the cup. I poured out a thing of Sprite, put that in, bubbled up kind of like a concoction a mad scientist would make, and made a pretty decent little drink.
Yeah.
I was about to say, it's Sprite with a little bit of kind of apple tasting, vodka. Yeah. That's what I say. We both had. I had a double. Sam had a single, and I'm currently nursing a alcoholic Shirley Temple. I don't know what else to call this. A Madonna.
No, that wouldn't have the cherry.
Well, yeah. Way to take the joke from Jack.
That's just what I was told. Okay.
Yeah, from the movie Jack, Sam.
I'm not saying it was I'm not saying it was original. I'm just saying
I
that's
know.
what they call a Madonna.
I made it a I put cherry vodka and some Sprite, a little bit of grenadine, and a drop of cherry in there. And that's what I'm currently nursing. And Sam, what'd you have?
I had, as he said, the...
Mad Scientist.
And now I am nursing a Newtopia Cider Chimea River.
Which I think you had last time as well.
Probably, because I had like a 4-pack, so...
Yeah, and you're barely finishing them up.
Hey, I'm still finishing it, though.
I'm not judging. Me no judge. Alright, so first impressions of this book... what did you think this book was going to be about, Sam? Before even cracking this fucker open, what did you think this was about?
Science experiment gone wrong. I was like, okay, it's just going to be a play on Jekyll and Hyde.
Okay.
The lab, probably that.
I pretty much had the same thing. I thought it was going to be kind of a retelling of Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Hyde with a RL twist to it. Yeah. That's kind of what I thought. And let's talk a little bit about this cover. Where's the book at? So I can... kind of laugh at the cover. Where's the book, Sam?
You took it.
I know.
You brought it in.
No, it's under my ass.
Ha! For once, it's not under my ass.
Oh, shut up!
So
this is a hell of a cover. We have a small girl who I'm assuming is Heidi, carrying from a hairy-armed, pig-nosed, and monkey-mouthed monster. This is quote this is apparently. I don't know why. This is quite the monster design is what I'm trying to say here.
Yeah.
Its hideous figure could give any child nightmares.
Yeah, I could see maybe as a kid being scared of it.
But you know what's funny? That's not what the monster looks like in the book.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah, I was about to say, because in the book it describes it as a half wolf, half man monster. You know, it's kind of a werewolf.
Yeah.
If you would. Which, I mean, that would just mean it's another werewolf book, and RL was just like, oh, I think I came up with the title Jekyll and Heidi, and I guess I'll put it to this one. All right.
Well, and they're like in a lab. The one thing.
Yeah.
You didn't.
Yeah, they're in a lab. I forgot about that. Yeah.
So that's where we were like, oh, science experiment gone wrong.
Also, best part about this cover, the Goosebumps 2000 lifted cover. Ooh, feel those letters. And bumpy face. Ooh, you can feel each tooth.
No. Good.
Apparently, Tim Jacobus really likes this cover. Yeah, he thinks this one came out really well, and I agree.
Yeah.
I think this one came out pretty well.
Yeah.
Heidi Davidson. I wonder if he heard a Harley Davidson outside and was like, stupid bike. I'm going to call this character Heidi Davidson. And, ladies, stop wearing Harley Davidson shirts if you've never even heard the band. I saw that tweet one time. It was really funny. I think I retweeted it. It's pretty funny, right? So Heidi Davidson is riding a bus heading to Shepherd Falls in Vermont. A kind of a weird location, I think. Vermont's being a choice for a Goosebumps book. Because I can't think of another one that takes place in Vermont. Hey, quick editor's note here. Apparently there's another Goosebumps book that takes place in Vermont. It's the Goosebumps Horrorland book, Who's Your Mummy? So... for all you folks from Vermont, good news, I guess. Okay, bye.
Not that I know of.
I mean, I don't expect you to know.
That felt like such an egg. I know it wasn't an egg, but the way it sounded was like, I don't expect you to know.
I don't expect you to know. Ugh.
Like, remember when you were doing the April Fools?
Yeah.
That's what it's.
Yeah, it kind of did. But in all fairness, I don't think you would know.
No, again.
The only Goosebumps you've ever read are for the show, and I've read quite a a few.
Yeah. No, I don't mean that you didn't.
I know.
Yeah.
After her parents died in a car accident, which, holy shit, the parents died in this book.
Yeah, usually they're like, oh, we're off to like...
Okay, there's I can think of maybe 1 or 2 stories or books where the parents are maybe divorced, but not dead.
Yeah.
Fucking, what's it called? How to Kill a Monster, they're divorced, and the parents got remarried, and she's spending time with her stepbrother, and she doesn't like him, and it's like, oh, yeah, I get you, kid. He's kind of annoying.
Or have the mom off to Tucson to go take care of her quote-unquote friend.
Yeah, sister.
Our sister.
Yeah.
But we were like, there's a lover in Tucson.
Yeah, I was about to say, it's a lesbian Tucson couple. I mean, come on.
And then they're like, yes, my sister is also here. And the sister's fine on her own.
Yeah.
And she's like, sure, whatever.
But yeah, this is one of those few times that the parents are dead. I can't honestly think of another Goosebumps story where one of the parents, or both the parents are dead. The Goosebumps movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dad's dead. Dad's dead!
I thought you were going to do the...
Sure, Dad's dead.
Yeah.
Doing what's-his-face from Dermot from King of the Hill.
Yeah, your dad's dead. Your card's been declined.
Heidi has been sent to live with her uncle, a scientist named Dr. Palmer Jekyll. She hadn't seen or spoken to Uncle Jekyll or his daughter, Mariana, in 7 years, since she was 5 years old. Heidi is left at a bus station with nobody waiting for her. She is soon greeted by a boy her age named Aaron Freitas. When she tells him about her uncle, he panics. He tells Heidi that the town has had to deal with attacks by a horrible beast every night, and that Dr. Jekyll is the one to blame. Heidi laughs at Aaron, believing he was just trying to scare her with the story of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Heidi walks to Uncle Jekyll's mansion by herself. She opens the door, only to be stopped by Mariana, who acts cold and angry towards her, telling her to leave. Heidi is then let in and shown her new room, a bright room with more than enough space. Heidi heads to Uncle Jekyll's lab and greets her uncle. When she gets to the door of the lab, she hears animalistic screams, and when she opens the door, she finds her uncle experimenting on a guinea pig. Wee, 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 wee. He is happy to see her, but when she tells him about Aaron's story, his face gets red. He yells at her and slams his fist on the lab table, and that the monster stories are a lie. However, more and more things begin to sway Heidi's suspicion that Uncle Jekyll may be a monster. This includes finding a room with the wallpaper completely shredded. But Mariana tells her that this was a doing of their cat George, who was recently put to sleep. Which,
I was like, God damn.
I mean, we find out at the end it's not true.
I know, but still, just...
There was no George.
Well, and some...
What if there was a cat George and she killed him?
Yeah.
Oh, spoiler! Later that night at dinner, they have clam chowder.
I was like, God damn, that sounds good.
Another dumb editor's note. That following evening, Sam had clam chowder for dinner. I know, right? I said the same thing in my notes. And that sounds fucking amazing. Yeah, that's what I said, actually, right there. Uncle Jekyll talks about the story of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde and how Jekyll was misunderstood. This moment actually reminded me of the Goosebumps episode for The Girl Who Cried Monster. When Mr. Mortman, the monster from the book, asks Lucy if she thinks the monster is the most sympathetic character in the story. I kind of felt that there was a little bit of a almost a similarity between the two. I doubt he would really put that together because that's from like the first season, I think, of Goosebumps. So
a weird side note I noticed in that when he's like, "Oh no, Jekyll just gets a bad rap."
Yeah.
Because what if you could change someone's personality with just pills? And I'm like, okay, so a psychiatric meds. Mm-hmm. One, if
Sam, I think you mean normal pills. My name's Cloud or whatever.
Dream.
Yeah, Dream Cloud. Thanks for these normal pills, so I can have a happy face mask. You may continue.
Okay. I was thinking, it doesn't really change your personality, it just stabilizes your mood, but some people may think it's a personality shift.
Yeah.
But another thing is, I've noticed people have, like, drastic, like, kind of personality shifts.
Yeah.
If they get the wrong pills.
Yeah.
Because I saw people, like, that were, like, misdiagnosed as having psychosis when they didn't. Mm-hmm. And they acted psychotic after they got on the pills.
Yeah.
And it all of a sudden went away when they stopped the pills. So it was like, okay.
So what you're saying is you don't support free drugs
That's not at all. You totally missed what I was saying. I was saying misdiagnosis.
Where's my happy pills? This angers Mariana until he decides to drop the subject. As Heidi sleeps, she hears screams outside. She checks her window, and it appears there is chaos in the village. She goes into Uncle Jekyll's lab to see if everything is okay. He's nowhere to be seen, but inside the lab, she finds what appears to be an empty cup that had once contained some sort of green liquid. Come. She runs to the kitchen just as Uncle Jekyll arrives. His clothes torn up and his body covered in dirt, but he claims that he fell during a night jog. I get it, man. I tend to go on night walks too after working or on something or when I need inspiration. I understand, and I fall down too. Just right in the street. Because I walk on pavement.
Yeah, I was going to say, just right on the pavement.
My face is ripped open. One lemonade, please!
God damn it.
Sorry, that's all I can think of.
That was such a creepy moment in Billy and Mandy.
It's Billy and Mandy.
I said Billy and Mandy.
I know, I'm just saying, it's Billy and Mandy. What do you expect?
Oh, okay. Yeah, fair.
That's what I was trying to say. But it didn't convey that way. The next day, Heidi comes out of the closet. No, comes down and eavesdrops on her cousin and uncle having an argument. Mariana is angry that she can't have friends and that she's trapped in this house. Like some kind of fucking Beauty and Beast thing. Heidi coughs and they stop arguing. Later, she tries to get... That bitch is listening in. Later, she tries to get answers from Mariana. But Mariana angrily lashes out at her, accidentally squeezing her hamster to death in the process.
Well, like, I was like, oh my god, one, Rip Ernie, because that was the hamster's name.
Yeah.
So Rip Ernie. Like,
rest in peace, Ernie Hudson.
Two, like, then Heidi, like, tries to apologize to Marianne. She's like, doesn't want to hear it.
Yeah.
My thing is it's not really Heidi's fault. You shouldn't argue, especially with an animal that can die so easily in your mouth.
Well...
Or in your...
Yeah, she just stuck it in her mouth and just like... like a fucking animal.
But still, like, maybe don't, like...
Like a freaking animal!
Don't hold animals while you fight, just kind of thought.
Yeah. I mean, she was holding it... Well, I mean, I feel... Like, Heidi blames herself because... What's it called? Because she was the one who got her riled up, though. It's not... I don't blame Mariana, honestly, though she did kind of get a little... I feel like she overreacted just to be a man. But in all honesty, Heidi did provoke her. I mean, Heidi didn't mean to provoke her, but she ended up provoking
I feel like
her.
it's one of those, there's no real great side of this, because, it's one of those, like, maybe a better time and place and approach would have been better.
Yeah.
But it's also, Heidi didn't exactly, like, hold her hand and make her, like, squeeze it to death either.
Yeah. Let me squeeze it, I want to kill it too.
You know what that made me think of?
Huh.
The stupid Sleepy Cabin cast thing?
Yeah.
With the hamster where its eyeball fell out. And then they gave it a
Heidi leaves the mansion and heads into town, where she sees all the damage caused by the Beast. Yes, the roller coaster that R.L. Stine wrote a book about, that it was in the East Coast. I can't remember where the Beast is from. Can we give a note on that, Chris? Thanks. Okay.
Here's that note you asked for, Mr. Rupel. The Beast roller coaster is located at Kings Island Amusement Park in Mason, Ohio. So there we go. That's all it is. Now that I realize that it's in Ohio, I fully understand why R.L. Stine wrote a book about it, or was like contacted, because he's Ohioan. Ohio. Okay, thanks, bye.
Doors are ripped off hinges, windows are smashed in, and people are eyeing Heidi suspiciously. She also sees Aaron being interviewed by a reporter. When she mentions that she's related to Dr. Palmer Jekyll, the townspeople advance on her, wanting the truth and wanting to go to the mansion. She runs from the situation and returns to the mansion. That afternoon, a man from the phone company arrives to install a phone in Heidi's room. When she gets the chance, she calls one of her friends from Springfield, and when she admits that there's a monster there, she hears a click on the phone, and thinks her uncle is eavesdropping on her. She leaves her room to check on him, and finds that he's in his study reading, and sitting next to a phone. That's some damning evidence, if you would. Later, she falls asleep, and has a nightmare about being attacked by a half-man, half-wolf beast. She awakens and finds that she can't fall back to sleep, so she decides to find something to read. She accidentally stumbles into the bookshelf like a fucking idiot, revealing a hidden compartment. she comes across a secret diary, and the entries go a little something like this. Let's go ahead and read those entries from page 73.
I flipped through the pages again, careful not to tear the brittle paper. Then I opened the book somewhere near the beginning. Squinting at the tiny handwriting, I started to read.
So cold today, the snow coming down in sheets, driven by the howling winds. I know I will howl too. I cannot control it, and I will go out in the storm, because the storm inside me is more powerful than any snowstorm.
Huh? I stared at the yellow page, gripping the little book tightly in my lap. What is this person writing about? A storm inside him? What was that some kind of poetry? I turned a few more pages and began reading again.
I know what I did tonight. I remember every scream, every cry of horror. Those poor people, they don't deserve it. They don't deserve me. But I am powerless to control it. At night, when the urge comes over me, when my body makes its hideous changes, I must go out. What choice do I have? I must run, and rage, and howl, and I must feed. I know what I am on these terrifying but exciting nights. I am like a wild beast, and I live for the screams and the fear I create.
Whoa, I murmured. My heart pounded in my chest. Wind rattled the window panes. I pulled the quilt from the bed over to my chair and snuggled under it. I started to read another page.
Of course I am a human most of the time. A caring, frightened human. A human prisoner in this old house. And a prisoner in this body that changes at night. A prisoner in this body I cannot control. Where does the rage come from? From where does the anger spring? The anger that forces me to kill and destroy. There are two of us trapped here. Two prisoners. The beast. And the doctor.
The doctor? I stared at the tiny handwriting, reading those words again and again until they blurred in front of my eyes. The beast and the doctor.
She believes that this is the original Dr. Jekyll's diary. She questions how that could be since he's a fictional character, but whatever. She then hears footsteps down the hall, and someone bursts into her room. It's the wind. She wonders to herself if her uncle found the secret formula and is the monster. Give me the formula, Oli.
See, I was going to make the joke of someone bursts through the door. Hey, Bart, I just got this new honky mask and chainsaw. Do you want to see?
Yeah. The next night after dinner, she sneaks into Uncle Jekyll's lab as he drinks some kind of formula that makes him react in a monstrous manner. She tries to run, but he catches her and locks her in her room. I like that he locked her from the outside. How does that even work?
Some places have, keys on the outside. I don't know.
Yeah, no, they tend to have a lock as well from the inside.
I'm not saying it makes sense. It's
no.
a Goosebumps book.
The book clearly says that she hears the lock on the door click. Normally, doors lock from the inside, not the outside.
It's an old house.
Oh, shut up. Like they have any difference from that. He then leaves as another attack on the town commences. Heidi escapes her room, falling through the window and grabbing the rusty grain gutter.
She gets tetanus.
I was about to say she will need a tetanus shot. She heads into town just as a giant explosion goes off. She sees the beast, who fixes its gaze on her and attacks, only for Aaron to show up and fight it off with a baseball bat. He tries to get Heidi to run by telling her the village plans on attacking her uncle's mansion. Before he can say more, the beast tosses Aaron into a fire. He's okay though.
Yeah, he's fine.
Yeah, he's fine.
He's fine.
She returns to Uncle Jekyll's lab. She plans on drinking the potion to defend herself. But after a chapter break, we find out it's empty and the beast has caught up to her. Suddenly, Uncle Jekyll shows up and saves Heidi from the beast by hugging it into submission, the way Sam wants to go out.
Yes.
Who transforms back into Mariana. Dun dun dun. Uncle Jekyll then reveals that the beast was Mariana all along. But yeah, that's why I said. When Mariana was 7, they took a trip to Europe. She had run off on her own into the forest while Uncle Jekyll was fixing their car. She was then bitten by some sort of beast.
No, feast. Like
Feast,
a
yeah.
giant table full of food came over.
Which cursed her with transforming into a beast every night. When she had seen Uncle Jekyll drinking the formula, he was testing it on himself to see if he could find the cure.
I don't think that's how that works, but okay.
He found Robert Smith, it's okay. Of the cure.
Oh, okay.
Oh, went over your head, didn't it, Sam?
I'm drunk and I don't
Boys don't cry. I bet he went into the forest and found some love cats and then disintegrated. Yeah, that's another one. Actually, it's disintegration, not disintegrated. So I guess I do deserve a hit for that one. Disintegration is one of the greatest albums of all time, though.
Okay.
It is a really good album. If you want to cry or have a good time. And then he sang a love song, which has been covered a million times. Chris, I hope that after every single time I said a Cure song, you put in the actual song or put it underneath. Thank you. Thank you for creating more things to edit. Suddenly, the villagers show up and start to tear the house apart, looking to finally kill the beast. Uncle Jekyll leads Mariana and Heidi down into the basement, where there is a secret tunnel leading away from town. The three get halfway down when Heidi remembers the old diary she had found in her bedroom. Believing the diary to be important, she runs to get it, only to be attacked by the villagers, who start burning the building down. Heidi is saved by Aaron, and the two head into the tunnel. However, Uncle Jekyll and Mariana have long since vanished. As they exit the tunnel, Heidi takes one last look at the mansion and sees it in flames. Later that night, while staying at Aaron's house, she shows Aaron the diary she had found, and they find out it's Mariana's diary, and the book ends with this passage on page 117, which, I may have been reading these last few bits, but, since we finally found out that, Mariana wrote this, let's have a girl read this.
I hid the diary from my cousin, Heidi, in my cousin Heidi's room. I never want anyone to find it. I never want anyone to know my shame, to know what I have done. I was out of control. That is my only excuse. Soon after Heidi arrived, I was a creature. I crept into Heidi's room to write in my diary. I saw her sleeping there. I had no control. She slept so soundly. I leaned over her bed. I bit her shoulder. Bit her. Finally got the cherry.
You get the cherry at the end.
Yeah, I know.
That's, Sorry, we're back from the episode after the Goosebumps time. Yeah, I finally drank my drink and got the cherry. So let's go over our notes for this story. Sam, go ahead and say your notes, I'll say mine.
So first I was like, tragic backstory already, that's different. Because, there's
there's really...
My parents fucking died. I was like, oh.
I was about to say, I can't think of another Goosebumps book with that tragic of a character.
Yeah, I was like...
Backstory, yeah.
So, chapter 3...
She's got a fucking backstory of a D&D character.
Yeah. My parents are dead. And now...
Yeah.
Chapter 3, I was like, Uncle probably isn't the monster. Maybe responsible for it, like him or his daughter, but...
Wait, when did you find this out?
I was like, chapter 3, when they were
Jesus Christ, I love how you're like, immediately.
Well, because they were like, it's the uncle! I'm like, so it's probably not the uncle.
Yeah.
Because when you're that, like...
Yeah.
I've read enough Goosebumps books to know where the twists are.
No. You've read enough young adult books, because that's every young adult book.
Yeah, where they're like...
Where they try to make the twist very obvious. You know what would be more of a twist? If it turned out to be the fucking uncle, and you'd be like, oh wow, I did not expect that.
Yeah, I would have been like, God damn.
Yeah.
Good on you to actually just...
Yeah, just keep it up.
So, then I was like, small town, knowing all everyone's business checks out.
Yeah.
Like, that's just very small townish.
Yeah.
And then as soon as we meet Marina...
I was born in a small town. Got fucked in a small town. There's not a lot of things to do in a small town. So I'm gonna jerk it on a fish.
On a fish?
On a fish. In a small town.
And then, like, as soon as we meet Mariana...
Yeah.
I was like, it's Mariana. She's the monster.
Yeah.
I literally put that, like...
Yeah, 4 chapters in, Sam already knew. Fucking... She knows what you're doing, RL.
I know your shit.
She knows your fucking bullshit.
Well, and then, like, the pig squealing, and then it was like, oh, it's a guinea pig?
Yeah.
Guinea pigs don't sound like pig. Like, I wouldn't go, that's the same as a pig.
Maybe it's a very deep-throated guinea pig. Like, he fucked the guinea pig.
Just congested.
Yeah. Yeah, I was about to say, it's so cold, it's congested. Alright, keep going.
I was like, did Heidi fail kindergarten since she doesn't know what a pig sounds like?
The pig goes, wee, 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 wee.
So when she heard wee, 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 she's like, oh, it's the exact same thing.
Oh, she only knew the nursery rhyme of the...
Little piggy goes wee, wee, wee all the way home.
Yeah,
okay,
exactly.
There we go.
That's the only reason.
She passed preschool with flying colors.
Yeah.
So, then I did the soup. I was like, oh, damn, that soup sounds good.
The clam chowder.
Yeah. And then you just gave someone the wrong You just give someone the wrong pills for the, how do you do a personality shift? I'm like, yeah, you just fuck up their pills. And then at one point they say, like, the curtains blew in the breeze and she shivered. I'm like, what? If it's so cold, why do you keep the fucking window open?
Yeah, that's a fair point.
So then, like, after the whole, like, sirens going off and all the shit happening, I was like, either Marianne sleeps like a goddamn rock, or she's the monster. We'll see. And then rip Ernie. Because, rip Ernie. And then, when it was the werewolf, when you see Dr. Jekyll turning into, like, the werewolf thing, I'm like, it's werewolf, and then, like, shepherd falls because shepherds guard sheep. And the sheep are people. It's a metaphor.
Oh, I never put shepherds fall two and two together.
Wolves eat sheep.
Oh my god. Sam, I don't know any other podcast that's gone over this book, but I wonder if we're the first one to discover that.
And that's how I got my way through Rating 101.
Damn.
I don't even know if that's, like...
Yeah.
True, but that's at least like what
that's
I put together.
That's good.
That's my literary analysis.
Yeah.
And then that's all.
Bravo to you for that
one. That's all the notes
one.
I have.
Like, holy shit. Like,
yeah. I was like, oh, Shepherd Falls, and I did the like.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah, I didn't realize that because I didn't remember the name of the town in all honesty until I read it again.
Yeah. No.
So, my notes go a little something like this: is this the first Goosebumps book where both parents are dead? That intro honestly caught me off guard. Heidi is at least smart enough to tell Aaron that Jekyll and Hyde is a fiction story. Any other Goosebumps kid would probably believe him.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
This girl is cool. She's got Doc Martens. I had to look up what a ski sweater was, ... I
honestly don't. I just figured it was part of like a... It's cold.
Yeah, I was about to say, if you look it up, you'd be like, oh, that's what it is.
I'm going to look it up right now.
Yeah, go ahead. Is it wrong that when the book was like, they have a maid, my sick mind went straight to sexy French maid?
No, I honestly kind of thought like sexy maid.
Oh, what's wrong with us? Is it... Oh, wait, no, I already read that. The fuck is up with Mariana? Like, what's with the constantly changing attitude? Like, she's like, run away! Then she's cold, then she acts like a real cold bitch. Does every fucking chapter have to end with a bad fake out? For having a maid, the house's spare rooms sure are dusty. Bitch, what we pay you for? She
kept quiet. It's hush money. It's just hush money.
Gotcha.
And she makes clam chowder.
Gotcha. Chowder. And tuna casserole.
And apple pie.
Yep. A la mode.
Yeah, so.
Which RL did not say a la mode. He just said apple pie with vanilla ice cream on top. It's a la mode.
That's exactly what a la mode is.
Yeah.
Still good though. Like
so our ski sweaters exactly what you thought they were.
Yeah, I'm not sure what I was expecting, but it's pretty much I was expecting about that.
Uncle Jekyll created normal pills.
God damn it!
Holy shit! Hamster death, page 55. This book has a head count. The phrase "this is like a horror movie" is used too often. Like, could RL not come up with another description or describe the setting and then use the words "kind of like a horror movie"? But for what it's worth, this does remind me of an old Universal horror movie.
Yeah, when he said like a horror movie after a while, I was like, take a shot every time you hear like a horror movie.
Like, legit, he says it way too freaking often. Like, he could have been like, the house stood high with old looking bricks, and something else, and high peaks or something. It reminded me of Dr. Frankenstein's monster from a horror movie or something.
You mean Dr. Frankenstein's Castle?
Frankenwiener.
Or they could have even said this looks like a bad movie that would be on late night TV.
No, RL likes those, so he would never say that.
Yeah.
Then most people wouldn't consider them bad back then.
True.
This is like MST3K may have been like around, but it wasn't that popular.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, that's what I would say. Thank God the nightmare sequence in the story tells us it's one from the start, instead of giving the audience a chapter of BS false scares.
Yeah.
Uncle Jekyll was just trying to make a new Mountain Dew formula so he could make a bank with a PepsiCo.
Well, when they said like it was a brown syrup, I was like, is he just drinking Coke?
Yeah, he's just making Coke. E-Cola. The description of the town in disarray is pretty solid prose. I thought it was.
Yeah, that was better. Like, the beginning is where I was like,
oh, there was so much bad prose. It's so clunky starting off.
Yeah.
Poor Heidi. Lost her parents. Now she's about to lose all of her belongings because of angry villagers with torches and pitchforks.
And that's my last note.
Well, I'm like, wow, it goes quick to like, oh, this is the 90s, I'm guessing? 'Cause they
This
tend
is
to do, like-
is modern.
And then all of a sudden they're like, as soon as they're a monster...
yeah, she wanted her computer, remember?
Yeah, and then as soon as they're a monster, they're like, it's medieval times, bitches, let's go!
I think they're trying to say that, like, all, like, village... also, village. I don't think that's a term used even in the 90s.
Tends to be like a town.
Yeah. This is just a small town.
Although I don't know, we don't live on the East Coast, so...
Maybe it's different on the East Coast.
But yeah, tends to be like...
RL's not from the fucking East Coast. He's from fucking Ohio, the Midwest.
I don't know about the Midwest either. Like,
Yeah. Or is that Midwest?
That's Midwestish.
Okay.
Close enough.
It's Bible Belt, isn't it?
I have no idea.
It's Joe-Hio. I declare this Joe-Hio. Hello, it's Goosebumps. Transfer over. Okay, so Sam, what's your review of this one? I don't want... You always piggyback off of my score. I'm letting you give me your score first.
I thought it was kind of shaky at the beginning. Again, the prose was kind of clunky at the beginning.
Yeah.
And I do say it was kind of... Again, it was predictable in the sense of, like, if you know the young adult twists, you can see it a mile away. But it wasn't bad. I'd probably give it, like, a 3 out of 5.
3 out of 5? Okay.
Like, solid. I wouldn't turn away from someone from reading it, but it's not the book I'm going to go to.
Okay. Overall, I think this is a pretty solid Goosebumps book. It does feel like it drags in some spots, especially early on with the very broken prose. But when the action and scares start coming, they don't stop coming.
That's when you hit the ground running.
Yeah. The constant fake outs at the end of almost every chapter are obnoxious and take away some points from me. But I really enjoyed this one. Heidi is a good protagonist. She's pretty smart and only does a few dumb things.
Yeah.
Like, she doesn't do the constant, duh, idiot patrol now.
I'm just gonna keep sticking my head through the door. Don't stick your head through the door.
Uncle Jekyll is a kind parent figure, but has a good mysterious side that makes you second guess whether he's the monster throughout the book. If you're a child.
Yeah.
I will have to emphasize that. And Marianne's behavior is pretty accurate for a girl who is stuck with this curse.
Yeah, I too would also be a massive bitch if...
Could I also say that this might be an allegory for puberty?
I was kind of thinking that when we were talking about it right now. I was like...
Yeah. She's just, what's-her-face from American Dad, Haley, when she went through...
I have to do this every month?
Yeah.
No, not on the sofa!
Yeah. I wouldn't say this is the perfect Goosebumps book, but I did enjoy this one, and would recommend it as a good read for anyone interested in 2000 series. I gave this book 4 hamsters squeezed to death out of 5.
Wow, you did the hamster squeeze to death.
Yeah, it was the first thing I could think of with that really popped into my mind. What about you? 3 what's out of 5?
I would say 3 random vials that I've already been drinking out of.
Out of 5.
Out of 5.
All right. 3 empty Mountain Dew cups. And I guess we'll go into our recommendation section. Sam, do you have any recommendations?
I can't remember the name of the book. 'Cause there was one about, like, werewolves, but it was, like, from the perspective of a kid that got turned into a werewolf.
New Moon, got it.
No.
Ow.
I mean, if you want edgy teen romance...
All right, She-Wolf by Shakira.
I do recommend that song, yes.
That is R.L. Stein's song of 2000 whatever.
Really?
Yeah, he said that was like the song of whatever that came out. He loves that song.
It's a good song.
It's a really good song.
Like, I no.
Like, I could find the tweet. I'll find the tweet for you, but he did tweet it. Okay, so my recommendations are: I think the obvious one to recommend is the book "The Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde."
To be fair, I've never read it. I only read the Wishbone version.
There, you could have said that.
I just thought of it right now, bitch.
Okay, well, guess what? They're pretty much the same. And they're both. I mean, I don't think it's a great. It's definitely one of those ones that, like, if you like old school literature, yeah, definitely read it. But if that kind of prose bothers you, don't read it. Just watch the movie version.
Read the Wishbone one. It tends to be not as old prosy.
Yeah.
And there's a dog on the cover.
Yeah, with a fake face.
Yeah, and that always sold me.
Isn't it like Mr. Bone or something? Look it up, Sam, while I finish up my recommendations. Immortal Hulk is a good example of a monstrous creature that comes out at night as well. Pretty decent comic. Not one of my personal favorites, but I think it's a pretty good comic. And for some movies that inspired the story, I would watch The Universal Frankenstein from 1931, which ends similarly to this story with a setting of a building ablaze. Yeah. So those are my recommendations for this one. And I gotta say,
Yeah, I was about to say. I'm happy we got to read a Goosebumps 2000s book. I think the next time we're going to read a Goosebumps book, it's going to be Stay Out of the Basement. No. I believe it's the next... I'm trying to remember what the fourth book is. I want to say it's Say Cheese and Die, which will mean we get 2 books in one, because we'll get to read Say Cheese and Die again, which you're going to hate. It's fat-phobic as fuck. Yeah, fat-phobic fucking book. But we get to see Ryan Gosling in the episode.
Baby Ryan Gosling.
He's terrible in it.
Sorry.
I'm Canadian, eh? Did you find what it's called? The Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde Wishbone book?
Not yet.
What do I pay you for?
You don't pay me.
I pay you with love and cum, which you just
Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Dog.
They could have gone with like Mr. Bone or something.
Or
like,
something else.
Mr. Like Hyde Retriever. I don't know. My brother had this book actually, so I know the cover very well.
It's adorable because it's a Jack Russell and a little suit.
My brother liked Wishbone quite a bit because there's a dog as well. We like dogs.
I had a Wishbone plush I got from Denny's.
Oh wow!
Actually, I had 2 because one was sitting, one was lying down.
Oh,
I like them.
He was annoying in the show. He was an annoying little fucking dog.
That's how Jack Russell Terriers
I
are,
want
though.
to fucking punch that dog in the face.
What the fuck is... The dog's probably dead by now.
Good, I'm gonna punch his grave.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
Jack Russell Terriers are jerks.
They are.
Yeah. They're little assholes.
I'm gonna say, like, one of our friends' dogs when...
Yeah. She's cool, but her dog isn't cool.
One of the dogs was cool. The other dog... They got another dog at some point.
I don't remember the other dog. I remember it being cute.
It was cute, and it was just like, hey, I'm cute.
Yeah.
And then... The other dog was a dick.
Smeagol.
Smeagol was a dick. He was Gollum.
Yeah.
I was like, we should call him Gollum.
She even said that. It's like, no, he's fucking Gollum.
And I'd always try to pet him, and then he'd be like...
Yeah, he loved me, though.
Yeah, he wouldn't bite you.
Yeah, because dogs like me. They
don't
smell my fear. They smell my cum.
What the fuck is with you and cum today?
Come and get me. Come on, Eileen. Hey, thank you for joining us on Drunken Book Club. As always, hey, if you're not on our Patreon at patreon.com/speaking of which, it's $1 a month for a bonus episode every week. You get this episode early. You get this episode on Monday versus Friday. You don't have to wait the whole work week. You get it immediately. You're just like, hey, look, I can listen to this. Sweet. You also get our notes, our show notes, and everything else I put in there. I just dropped a bunch of the Let's Roleplay character sheets on the actual Patreon because I cleaned my room a little bit. Because I had to I had to disinfect and clean it for after I had COVID because I slept in here to prevent Sam from getting sick.
I appreciate that.
You're welcome. I don't mind sleeping in my office. This is a very comfy futon, honestly.
Yeah, it's not a bad futon. It's just one of those, like, I'd rather you not if you're not sick.
Yeah,
because
that's fair.
The bed is better.
But, I'm just saying, sleep divorce is pretty good. That's a term. You know that, right?
No.
Yeah. And be like our patron Trey at Uridosaurus. Be $1 patron, because I'd buy that for $1 a month. It's $1 a month. What can you what else can you get for $1 a month? Nothing. That's what.
Yeah.
You can get spit on by a homeless person.
They might even be like, give me $2.
Yeah. They'd be like, give me $2 and I'll spit on you. And you're like, no, $1. And he's like, nope. I'll take the $1. Bye.
It is too hot for me to waste my spit.
Yep. I have too much time to waste my spit on you. I'm a homeless person. Hey, if you enjoyed what you heard, make sure to follow us on Twitter at SOW_podcast. And you can follow Sam at
Berserker Rose.
And also, hey, if you're interested in hearing more of the Disney Disney Muses movie podcast, make sure to follow at Disney Muses on Twitter as well. I just thought I'd recommend that one, even though the episode 0 is the only episode that's out, and we don't have anything else up.
Well, because we have to wait for Weiss to get better.
We have to wait for Weiss to get better, and hopefully Noelle has finished the art, which I'm so excited to see. We've seen like a little bit of like the pre-work, and it's so awesome. Cool. It's really awesome.
Like, yeah.
Like, she's freaking cool.
She's so good.
She's so cool. So hardcore. I don't know why I said it like that. And if anything, thanks for joining us. And hey, stay tuned the rest of the month. We are doing Goosebumps episodes every single week of this month. I don't know what the next one's going to be because we have to still record them. But I can tell you you know what? Look forward to this. We're doing a Let's Read of Little Comic Shop of Horrors as chosen by you guys on Twitter. By you guys on the Twitters. We have a Goosebumps Quizzer. You know what? The Quizzer is actually probably going to be next.
Yeah, because you want to do that first.
I want to do that first so I don't spoil anything for anyone. That'll be... It's a Goosebumps Quizzer based on strictly the endings and their multiple choices. So they can't make me laugh to get a point because there's multiple choices.
I only know the first few.
Yep. Yep.
I only have an edge at the beginning, then after that I'm as fucked as everybody.
Like a man who edges, Sam has a slight advantage. Then we're gonna have a Let's Roleplay of what I like to call young adult horror kings. I modified it Space Kings from young adult horror story. And, spoiler alert, they're going to be going to a certain camp run by a Jelly Jam, if you would.
So Camp Jelly Jam.
Yeah, they're going to be going to Camp Jelly Jam. Can they win the baseball tournament to win a chance to be in the winner's circle? I don't know. We'll find out. Bitch. And then I don't know if this is going to end it or not. I also prepared a Hoopa Goosebumps Doo Doo Noo Noo. Yeah, that's right. We're going to be playing a Hoopa Goo Doo Doo Noo Noo. That is find the brighter side of these events from Goosebumps. Oh my god, I got the hiccups.
You want to get some water?
No, finish the podcast.
And so that's what we'll finish it off with. To play us out, I don't know, because I don't know much songs. I know there's a musical of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
I've used the song before, actually, because we talked about it before.
I've never heard...
It's really good. Like, Hasselhoff does a really good job with one of the songs.
Good to know.
But no, we're going to do Animal Within.
3 Days Grace.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think
Animal
that works.
I've Become.
Animal I've Become, thank you.
Dear.
I think we've used that before. If not that, maybe a werewolf song or something.
Werewolves in London.
No, I've used that one before as well.
She-Wolf.
I've used that as well.
Damn it, because that would have been so good.
No. Yeah,
we talked about it right now.
I know we did. We talked about a lot of songs this episode.
Something from The Cure?
I've already used The Cure. I mean, they're being dropped right there.
Another song from The Cure?
No. It'll be a song. Thank you for joining us, guys. And as always, don't drink and read Goosebumps. You'll have a bad time.
Yeah.
Or you might have a good time. I don't know.
Who knows?
Who knows?
We're not the police.
Yeah, we're not the police. We're not the Goosebumps police.
Yeah.
We're not the Dream Police from Don't Fall. Oh, fuck, what is that? Oh my god, I'm losing my Goosebumps card for this one. I can't remember what it's called.
The Goosebumps police is gonna come for you.
No, it's like the Reality Police from fuck, which book is it? It's like Don't Fall Asleep. No. Fuck, I Live Under Your Bed? No. Fuck, what is it called? Oh my god, what? I gotta look it up before the episode's over. I feel bad. Don't Go to Sleep. Is that the song? That's a song. Ah, fuck me. Oh man. Oh god. Goosebumps Reality Police. That is literally the first thing that came up. Don't go to sleep. Okay, I was right. Oh god, I was like, that's one of those ones that I'm like, I read once and was like, this is weird. Also, the cover does not match what is going on in this book because it's got like a hairy fucking hand, but there's Reality Police.
Okay, so
yeah, it's a weird book.
Weird.
Yeah, it has a weird like rap song, and it's on like the cassette for the Goosebumps soundtrack, which I love that I got the cassette for the Goosebumps soundtrack. Mm-hmm. But I don't have a cassette player. I want to buy that one vinyl player that is like a cassette player, CD player, and vinyl player.
Okay.
I might get that next paycheck after I get a new pair of boots. Because my boots are kind of falling apart.
Yeah, so that makes sense.
Join our Patreon so Chris can buy some boots. I need a new pair of boots. I'm so poor. After being sick with COVID, I can't afford new shoes. It's not true. I could probably go out and get some boots. I'm just being cheap. So I do need to get groceries because Sam's going to be out of the.
I'll be house sitting
For how long?
like 3 weeks.
Oh my god! Yeah, I need to get food.
Well, I can get it like I can
Like-
go next do week by week.
I know, but
It's not
still.
like I'll be totally out forever.
I know, but still, I'll be sad. Don't fucking hug me like you're like feeling sorry. Don't feel sorry for me.
I feel bad. I'm sorry.
I feel bad. I'm making money for a Disneyland trip.
Yeah.
Ooh,
I feel bad
don't-
though that I'm leaving you though.
You're not leaving me. I can walk. I can dance. I can groove to the prance.
Your skin's cool.
Oh my god, get off me.
I love you.
I love you too, but you're all terrible.
Should I quit?